First of all, happy birthday, America. 250th birthday celebrations. So if you hear loud noises in the back, it's because there's fireworks going on. So forgive me for that. With that said, we can go ahead and get started. So what do we want to do in this particular tutorial slash, video? What we want to do is we want to flex the power of Google Antigravity to do something for us in a production setting. So let's assume that you're a developer in your company and you're being asked to develop an address validation service, right? Address validation is a pretty common service that you would be required to write if you're doing any kind of shipping, whether it is physical shipping or invoices, bills that you have to send out, etc. So to get accurate addresses, incorrect zip codes, incorrect addresses. So to have that address formatted in a proper way is a pretty important service that you might have to do. So you will have to do that, and assuming you have, let's say, Google Cloud as your cloud provider, you will be required to deploy that service in the cloud. And as a developer, you would normally follow a few steps, right? You would, write it locally, and test it locally, and then eventually, maybe containerize it, package it up, and then, send it to GCP for production. And this is what we're going to have the Google Antigravity agent do for us. So before we do that, we have to set up our development environment, right? We need something like UV for Python, maybe Podman to create and manage the containers for us. We need gcloud CLI with full authentication to the project that you will deploy your services to. So that means that you will need a project ID. In my case, I have YouTube demos dash 501420 as the project ID. In your company, your cloud admin will be able to provide this project in which you will need certain rights to be able to deploy the cloud run services that we will see later on. Now, if you have a personal Google Cloud account, that also equally works. Just make sure that you have a project created and you've granted yourself sufficient access to be able to deploy containers to that particular project. So since we will be doing address validation, we will also need some kind of an address validation service. In this case, we're going to use Google Maps platform, and it has a demo key. We're going to obtain that, and we're going to, save that in our project folder for the agent to use. So in the end, we're going to ask the agent a few things, right? So the agent's tasks are build the API service using Fast API, and using the Google Maps validation API, get the keys from here. Then do the local development, right? Boot the server locally. After you write the microservice, test it locally, make sure that it works fine. Then you're going to containerize it using Podman. And after that, you will deploy that container in GCP Cloud Run in a production kind of a setting. And that's what we're going to do. And we're also instructing the agent to deploy this as a unauthenticated access so you can test the public URL. So finally, when the URL is provided, you yourself can verify that it actually worked okay. And that's the intent of this demo video. So these are the needs, right? Let's go ahead and get started. So let's start with getting a proper Podman set up. So go to podman.io. And I am not going to use the desktop. I'm just going to get the base Podman. Since I am on a Mac, I'm going to use the releases here. Towards the end of, or the bottom end of this, you have all the assets. Since I'm on a Mac with ARM64, I'm going to use that package. Yes, go ahead and download that. It has downloaded that, and we're gonna double click it, and the installer has come up here. So we're gonna click continue. You agree to it, install for all users. Yes, yes, install. Of course, the password. So once the admin password is given on your local laptop, it has successfully completed. We're just gonna, leave that there. That is fine. And we will launch a terminal window to test it, just to make sure everything works okay. Sure it is, right? It's out there. So the podman essentially needs a virtual machine to start, and that will be here in the getting started, installation instructions for Mac and Windows. This is what we just did. So we're gonna do, podman init in our terminal. Oh, it already exists, so let's just go ahead and blow it away. Machine rm minus f well, I guess minus f is force. So sorry, I think I had tried it before, so it was out there. So now that that is gone, we'll just do a podman init. It will download the machine image that you can see here. It's about 876 MB file, so we're almost there. And after that, we will want the machine to start. So let's see. It's extracting the downloaded image. It is done. Yep, there you go. It also says the same thing. Podman machine start, and it is starting. Perfect. Rootless mode. If you want to change that to rootful, you can change that. I don't know if that will be necessary. We will see. So podman info, just to make sure. Yep, there you go. It's up and running. All right, we can leave podman in the background for now. So the next thing that we want is gcloud CLI tools. So you can gcloud CLI install, and it will be here, I believe. And I'll give all of this in um, GitHub gist or something like that. So the easy install is not that, because that's x86 64. Since we're on a Mac, and Apple Silicon, we're gonna use that. So we will download that. Yes. So it downloaded, and I always like to use the temp from downloads, Google Cloud CLI arm.tar.gz. So we're gonna move it here, and then we're gonna unzip it. It unzipped everything, and then now we can go into the directory and then install it. Is that a path, or is it gonna install here? Yeah, see? Where is it? Usage, screen, universe, command, path update. Oh, that is just the path update. Let us see what it does. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It is doing is install. So virtual environment is already existing. That is just the Python virtual environment. That is okay. Do you want to continue? Yes. And I have already installed one, so it kind of updated whatever was outdated. If this was a new install, it will just go through the full install, and it will be a very similar process, if you will. So gcloud. So let's go ahead and log in, because we want to log in, right? Remember, this is where you need that Google user account for your Google project, right? If you have a free GCP account, then you will know what email address to use. If this is a corporate environment, your cloud admins would have provided you with your username and password. So I already have that, and I'm gonna log in using that account. So, oh, sorry, auth login. So gcloud auth login. Ta 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 ta. My regular user account is this user Shiva at my domain, and password. Yes, why don't we do that? So no thanks. Yes, fine. Oh, that's because it was we we changed the browser. So let's just copy that and then see if that request is still valid. Yes. Once again, authentication. And do you want to allow access? Yes, I want you to. Okay, there you go. So yeah, that's because the Google profile change invalidated the previous request. So we had to do it again. And here we are. You are now logged in, So it put me in my sandbox account, which I don't want, because for this particular project, I have another Google project that I have created. And remember, as I told you, your Google admin would be able to give you what project you want to use. For this particular effort, I have this YouTube demos project created in Google Cloud. If you don't have it, your cloud admin should be able to give you that. If you are having a GCP free account, that's also okay. Just look at the project ID, and that's what you would use here. Some warning, yeah, blah, blah, blah. That is okay. It's just, blasting away. That's fine. All right. So the next thing that we need is we have done with Podman, we've done with gcloud CLI, Google Project ID. You would have had that already, so that's done because in the authentication, or we set the default project to point to YouTube demos, right? So we're done with that. Now we need Google Maps platform API key is saved locally in gmapkeys.txt. Oh, before I do that, I want to put this all in my projects directory. So let's go there. Users, Shiva, downloads, no, projects, sorry, projects. Oh, I don't have that. So that's fine. Let's just create it. In my home directory, projects, change to projects, mkdir address validation service, because that's where we're going to work. Change to that directory, and we're gonna get a Google Maps demo key. So you do that by Google Maps platform demo key. It will get you here, get the API key. So we're gonna do that. Where do we do that? Yeah, get demo key. So from your user, it wants to authenticate again. This is free for development purposes, so feel free to use it. If I can type my password right. Yes, I have read and agreed. So copy the API key and vi gmaps. What is the file name that we said? gmaps-key.txt. Key.txt. Save the key and put it there. All right, so we're done with that. I think now we are ready to ask Gemini, or not, well, combination of Gemini and Antigravity. In the previous video, you have seen how to install Antigravity IDE. If not, feel free to watch that video. So we're launching Antigravity IDE, and that's popping up here. Key bindings, ta 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 ta, migrate settings, key bindings. You're free. Okay, well, fine, migrate it. Once again, we have to sign in here, so that's fine. So let's go ahead and sign in. Yes, open anti-gravity IDE. I want to make sure we are on the 2.0 anti-gravity because they did update it. Start fresh is fine. Review development is fine. Normally, I don't do any C++, so we're just gonna leave that alone. We have to agree to all of that, and then we are fine. What did we? Yeah, so ID is 2.0. Okay. Because there is an update available, we're going to restart it. If you have a fresh install, you probably don't need to do that. Did it restart? There we go. All right. So we are good to go. Yeah, 211, yada yada. Okay, fine. So we're good to go. So on the right-hand side pane, let's just, open the folder, our projects, address validation service. We'll have it ready. There's only one file, the gmaps key that we created, and your agent is ready to go. So we are ready to create the address validation service. So we paste the prompt. So all we're saying is use home directory. Oh, address validator service. That is wrong, right? So let's make sure we fix that. Terminal. Yeah, so that would be here, home projects. So let's just copy that and come back here to the prompt, put the prompt, correct address. Yep, home projects address validation service as your base directory, environment and tools available. So the agent has UE for Python, Podman, gcloud CLI, the cloud project ID, Google Maps platform. So, and we're asking it to build the API, local dev test, containerize it, GCP production deployment, all in one shot. So let us see how it does. I'm listing the contents of the workspace. I will review, defining the key structure. So it gives you an implementation plan. So let's quickly review what it is suggesting. We will build a fast API service that validates address using Google Maps address validation, test it locally, containerize it using Podman, and deploy it to Google Cloud Run under the YouTube Demos 50140 project. Propose changes. So read the API keys environment variable. Oh, I'm glad it did that, right? So it's gonna not like plug in the key directly. It's gonna put that in an environment variable. So that's great. Expose a validate API endpoint, and the endpoints will take the raw address and it will use the gmaps keys to validate the address and then return the cleanly formatted address and verdict from the response. Oh, love it. Python project dependencies, Docker file it's going to create, and then it's going to create a test on local, scripted to run to, check, right, the API services. And then here is the validation plan. It is doing some validation using some test addresses, 1600 Amphitheater Parkway, that is Google's headquarters, and the GCP deployment. So it's going to package this up into a container, throw it into Google Container Registry Service, I believe it is, and then it's gonna run that using Cloud Run. But looks good to me, so let's proceed. So it's doing it. So it's asking, hey, can I use UE in it to run this? Generally, I like to kind of keep an eye on what it is doing. So yes, I think that is fine. Submit. Command not found. I could have sworn to God UE was there, but anyhow, echo the path. Yes. Find home. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Oh, because I did say UV was there, but UV may not have been there. So let's see. Yeah, it's not in path. I don't think it's gonna like it so much. We'll see if it fixes it. Is it gonna fail? Don't know. Tick, 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 tick. Oh, I should not have allowed it to search the background Gmaps or Google Drive because it's gonna take a while. I think you know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna stop the Google Drive service. It may error out, but let's see. Or maybe we should have installed UV. Okay, why don't we install UV real quick? Astral UV. Let's just go ahead and install it because we may have to rerun this. So here is the installation command. You can go to docs.astral.sh and it's one simple command. So let's come back to the terminal. Be sure to be in our home directory to install it. Sometimes I like to do that. Uh, there we go. So now let us install it just to be sure. Okay, it's fixed, and then we have to activate it. All right, that is done, but this may not like it. So can I stop it? Yes. So yeah, cancel this task and then rerun it. Artifacts, 2 files, implementation plan. So why don't we re-kick it off? Let's see what happens. Yeah, allow this time. Python 3, 5th version. There we go. I think it found it. So now it's moving along to I don't want brew, but that's fine. It will. Oh, it's still the older process, but let's see. Okay, I think it's having a hard time finding the UV, but then it went past it, right? So now it's adding the past API, UV icon, etc. And you can see the files kind of slowly popping up, right? Yeah, it wrote the past API application code to main.py, update the task, thought for 1 second, it's testing locally. So allow execution. Yes, allow the execution. Can't because it needs the keys to read it and put it in the yeah, see, in the environment variable, and then now it wants to test it and G Cloud Services. Okay, so now it's almost there, right? It has finished testing it, and then it's just getting a list of services to see, I believe. All right, it's fine. Let's do that. Grep address validation. So it's the other background task. Oh my gosh, this is doing a lot. gcloud.list. Yes, that is fine. It's checking config list to see if the correct project is set. gcloud project list. Okay, fine. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, see YouTube demos, and then gcloud service enable address validation. Ooh, that might fail, but let's see. Working. That Oh, I will activate a gcloud account. See, that was my admin account for the GCP. See how smart it was, right? It is unbelievable. See, you would have gotten stuck if you did not have admin access to your GCP account. Um, if you did, you could go and grant it yourself. If not, you would have to ask your Google admin to enable those APIs. I thought I enabled all the APIs, but I guess I forgot to do the Google Maps APIs. So that's a gotcha right there waiting for you. All right, so it automatically switched to my admin account, and I think it's gonna run the, yeah, see, it is enabling the address validation.googleapis.com. Oh my gosh, amazing. This is freaking awesome. So now we're back to my regular user Shiva, because it enabled the APIs, and then I was switching back to the, uh, now it's like, oh, okay, all right, GMP temp project, that is fine. And then now we're going to run the test. Okay, fine, do the testing. G-Cloud API keys for that particular project, that is fine. I don't know where this GMP demo project came from. That is interesting. I'll have to find out what it did. We'll see. Project, yes. Or is it building a test service? Because we asked it to test, I asked it to test it locally. Maybe it is confused that it needs to test it in G Cloud. So that is where it is creating the temporary project, testing it, and then coming back. I think that's probably what is happening. We'll see. So now it wants to store the API keys. Yeah, okay. So it's enabling those API keys for those projects, which is fine. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. The amount of work that it is doing in regards to testing and things, it is just unbelievable. See, I will now write the Docker file to configure the Python container, Podman version. So it's checking which Podman. Yeah, we have 6.0. And then see, it's now building the actual container. So it's gonna then move to the deployment, but it's first building the container. Amazing, you can see, right? Podman run. So it needs to test it, right? So it's running the build container and it's gonna test it. Cat gmap keys because it needs the keys. Test local, yes. And then podman logs test srv. Yep, that's fine because it's doing the testing. And then see, now it is actually posting the content. It's giving the address as 1600 Amphitheater Way with no zip code. The result would include zip code because that will be the properly formatted address. So let's see. Yep, get the keys, response ID. Oh, it went too fast, but I'm sure. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, it's hidden in the output, I believe. Yeah, it went way too. Let's see, line curl. Then where is the result? Yeah, so that's the input. Response ID is gotten. Maybe it's not documented. Oh, there it is. Yep, County Santa Clara, ELOT number. Where's the zip code? Where is the, oh, there you go. Haha. See, that is the result right there. So that is the actual USPS fully formatted address, including the zip code, while our input did not have the zip code, if you notice, right? We only gave the, yeah, that's the full result. Amazing. So let's continue. Test local, yes. Ta-da-ta-da-ta. Finish testing. So now we are, stopping the testing, right? It's done. So it's removing the test files. Yep, that's all fine. And then now it's like, okay, see artifact repositories list. It wants to see the Google Cloud registry. It's testing it. Create address validation. Yeah, so that's the container name. It's gonna throw it into the, so sorry, this is the repo, right? So it's just creating the repo and then it's gonna upload the container that it created. Yeah, so it created the gcloud get IAM policy, filter binding member, user Shiva. I thought I gave it GCR. Okay, that it did not like it. We'll see. gcloud run deploy. So yes, go ahead. Cat, yep, one more time. In the meantime, did it create my folder in GCR? console.cloud.google.com. Let's see. So YouTube demos, that's my project. Registry, artifact registry. Is this the right one? No repositories, or did it change to the container registry? I can never tell with Google. Cloud run. Let's see. Uh, Service registry, jobs, where did it go? Okay, hasn't finished it yet, but let's see. So it's approve, yes, and accept all. So it said, no, not right now. I don't want you doing that. Gcloud create address validation, artifact, artifacts, artifact registry. Yeah, that's where we were. So nothing yet, huh? Okay. So there is an error. So it's saying, yeah, permission denied. Oh, repo create. I could have sworn to God I gave the, nope. So let's ask it to set account to suboo.us and retry. So let's do that because that's my admin account, right? So yes, allow this time. Yes, try that. Yes, I think it's having a permissions problem because it's not liking it. We will see. Okay, this time I think it seems to be working. Okay, okay. Enable artifact registry. That was enabled. Right. Yeah, that was enabled previously. GCP. Okay. All right. Let's see. Resource manager. Oh, I think it's stuck in a troubleshooting loop. Yeah, I'm 100% certain it is stuck in validate. Let's see. Gcloud artifact repository create. Okay. Yeah, I am permission denied. I will attempt to log into gcr.io with the Pardman username. I thought this was the wrong thing to do, but let us see. I think it's stuck in a loop. Yeah, I think it's stuck in a loop. No, tag address validation. Huh, it seems to be moving forward, but let us see. Yeah, Pardman push. Okay. Maybe it took some time for it to take effect. Huh, where the hell did it create? We will see. Okay, gcloud.login. All right. Yeah. Yes. You are now authenticated. Did it lose the authentication token? Probably. Okay. Yeah. I think there was a permissions problem. So it was just getting into a loop, creating that. Yeah, I didn't like it. Okay, use another account because that needs the admin account. Whoops. That needs the admin account for it to grant the permissions. So since I have both the admin and the regular user, I am able to get past this. If you are stuck here in a permissions loop, you will need the help of your Google Cloud admin. Um, you will need the help of the Google Cloud admin to be able to bypass that. So yeah, it needs to redo it. I should not have done the switching, but let's see. See, I am waiting for the login prompt for completion, but that we'll see. Yeah, it's not gonna work, right? Because we started with one and we ended with another. So this is not going to go well. This is my regular user. You are now authenticated. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. Did it create the artifact repo? I think it's having a hard time creating the repo. I think that's where the problem is. Yeah, YouTube demos. Yeah, see, there is no, you need permissions, and that's what it's it's doing. Let's ask it to redo it. I made an error in the browser during sign up. Yeah, see, it's initiating one more time. Yes, allow this time. Yes, allow this time. And we will add an account. This time we will be smart not to switch the browser profile. Yes, allow. You are now authenticated. Gcloud artifacts, create. It should work this time. Fingers crossed. Let's see. I'm waiting for the repository creation to complete. So that means that we should. Woo! Finally. Okay. Okay. Now this time I think it will be able to push the, yeah, see, login succeeded. Yes, Podman tag, and it's gonna push it. Yeah, it got into a loop. It got into a loop. Okay, there is no images yet. It's about to push it. So working, working, working. I'm waiting for the Yasi container push to finish. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. There you go. Just now, there's the container. So the next step, gcloud run deploy. So it's now deploying that container to the cloud run service essentially. It wants that key. That is fine. It's working. It's deployed. There is the log. Oh, that's the log URL. Gcloud logging read. So it's like trying to read the logs to confirm that the deployment was successful, I think. Admin build platform Linux AMD. See how it changed the platform, right? Because we're on a Mac. If it had built in ARM 64, you would have had trouble running it there. Well, I mean, depending on which machine type and all, right? But see how smart it is. Or I guess Powron only accepts x86 64. I don't know, right? Podman tag address validation. So it's tagging it in that project. It's pushing it. Yep, go ahead, push it. Yeah, see, this is the container that it built. Very small, right? It is sitting in central Iowa. And yeah, you can see the manifest, right? It's amazing, I tell ya, amazing. All right, what command is it trying to run? G deploy address validation. Okay, yeah, see, allow unauthenticated because we asked it to. And the Gmap keys are in a environment variable. Yep, it's gonna plug it in there. It's working. I'm waiting for the Cloud Run deployment to finish. So we can see, we can duplicate this. And if we go to Cloud Run, we should be able to see a deployment there. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There is the deployment. Updating, routing traffic is pending. It takes a minute or two, right? Almost. Oh, see, yeah, I'm waiting for the Cloud Run. There we go. Routing traffic. Success. So what is it asking now? Oh, it wants to curl. So that's the outbound URL or the external URL. And yes, allow this time. And it's just doing, and it's trying to post to that address. And the address once again is, 1600 Amphitheater Parkway without the zip code. Let's see what the result is. Oh, that went way too fast. I couldn't, I couldn't see it. Oh, there you go. See, I have completed all the tasks. Here's a summary of the implementation and deployment details. Live endpoint URL. Here's the URL. You can copy this and you can go there. Address validation service is running. API key is configured. True. I've created the walkthrough, past API implementation. It containerized it. It pushed it to container registry, had a permissions problem, resolved it on its own, and it has come back and deployed the container as a Cloud Run service, gave it a public URL. This is ready to go. The test container is at, right? So we can actually do this right now in our terminal. Whoops, my bad. Instead of, sorry, yeah, I don't know what I did. If we go to our terminal and paste it and change the local host to that public URL, address validation, we should get that address properly. Method not allowed. Why instead of a post, is it a, let's not do a post. Method not allowed. Huh, that is interesting. Okay, we can ask it, right? Why am I getting a method not allowed when I do this? What did it do? Oops. What did it do? Let's see. Yeah, post magnet triggered by the -d, which is only configured. Oh, get request only. Okay, well then, yeah, that is the command. So let us go back to the curl. Ta-da! And you can see the service running. And if we want a pretty, let's just pipe it through JQ. Whoops, sorry, not there. I should have, yeah. validate, right? And then pipe this through JQ, and there's the address. And the full formatted address is right there. Can you believe it? Right? 10 minutes ago, we didn't have nothing running, right? We just had an idea. We wanted to do something, and we asked our agents to do the work. We prepped everything. We thought we prepped everything, missed the permissions, and yet it was able to debug through the process. It was smart enough to find out that I had two profiles in my G Cloud, an admin account and a user account, and the user account was what I was using, and it was failing with the user account. It flipped back to the admin account, granted the access, created the folder, created the repo, uploaded it, and then it was able to do all the tests and look at all the files that it created. It created the Docker file. It started with Python 3.12 Slim. It has the business logic built into it. It properly externalized to the API keys, right? Amazing. This would have taken a developer maybe half a day or a day or maybe even a couple of days, right? Depending on how familiar they are with these kind of software development setup. I certainly feel like a 100x developer because I these days do not code regularly, understand the concepts and things like that. So when I'm able to kind of describe, hey, what I want to do, and it is able to give me pretty much everything, it truly has made me a 100x developer, right? If I want to demo this to some of my internal audience tomorrow, I have a working prototype rather than just an idea of, oh, I want to write this address service, right? It's real. The software agents or anti-gravity agents are your software engineers. You just have to prep it well, have it give it a good clean prompt, and it is able to do everything that you want to do, and deploy this in a production setting almost, right? Human in the loop, 100% necessary. You saw the number of error messages that it received, right? And your experience will speed it up. If you look at an error message and you're like, oh yeah, that's because of a permissions problem, or hey, look at this message, it was having trouble finding UV because I thought I had UV, I did not, right? So we had to cancel that, and then deploy UV in the middle of the program and then go back and fix that. It's amazing. I am just impressed beyond belief. And that is the beauty of AI agents. So feel free to utilize AI agents, but with the human in the loop, and you are the human in the loop, right? And make yourself a 100x developer. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.